Hi everyone, this is Rashmi. Welcome to my channel Cybersecurity with Rashmi. Today we'll be learning about the very important topic called the CIA Triad. Now, it's the foundational concept in the field of cybersecurity and is made up with three core principles that are used to protect our systems and processes. Now, the CIA stands for confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So now let's look at each one of them in detail and see what they actually are. The very first principle of the CIA Triad is confidentiality. With this principle, we want to make sure that the attackers are not able to gain access to the sensitive information and only authorized individuals are able to do that. We want to make sure that the data across the internet is protected, it's confidential. So it actually measures the attacker's ability to get access to the data. It also preserves your authorized restrictions because we only want the authorized individuals to gain access to the data. Therefore, the main crux is that we want that the data remains protected and confidential. So various examples of confidentiality are VPNs, transport layer security between the web browser and server, using AES encryption for files, objects, that means the data that is at rest. Now to explain a little bit more what I mean here is that we use virtual private networks to hide our IP addresses, to hide our geographical locations. So they are a very good example that how we are using confidentiality in principle. Then there is transport layer security. So it's basically a cryptographic protocol that makes sure that the data you're browsing across the internet, it's safe, it's protected. And one of the real life example is using HTTPS. It is also using TLS protocol in it. And if you want to know more in detail about these topics, let me know. I'll make a separate video on these topics. The second principle in the CIA Triad is integrity. What we mean by integrity is that the data should be unchanged. It should not be modified. It should not be deleted. So we have to safeguard our data, and we just don't have to safeguard our data, but also systems and processes. So we need to make sure that the operating systems we are using across the internet, they are reliable. We need to make sure that the hardwares and softwares are complete. We need to make sure that the data structures are consistent and the data occurrence is unmodified. There are various examples of making sure that the data is that the integrity is in check. You could use various verification techniques like mathematical checksum, frame check sequence, and so on. What I mean here is that when you're sending any file from a web browser to a web server, you could use these verification techniques like mathematical checksum so that your data is secure and it's unchanged, it's not modified at all while you are transferring or doing the transfer from a browser and server, and attackers are not able to gain access to it. So the third very important principle in the CIA Triad is called availability, and it makes sure that the data you are able to use the data if you are an authorized individual, and it should also be accessible. So the data should be reliable, it should be timely available. Now there's an interesting feature in availability which is called the failover feature. It acts as a backup component when your softwares or hardwares they are experiencing any issues, which will reduce the downtime and it will minimize the impact on availability. So there are various examples that can make sure your data is accessible, usable, and also available. So what you can do is basically implement some security controls or fix vulnerabilities that are going to impact availability. For example, these are all attacks, DDoS attacks, spoofing, power consumption. These are all cyber attacks that are going to impact availability. These are the remedies that you can take to make sure your data is available. Like I said, if you want me to explain you in detail what these attacks are and how you can minimize the impact, let me know in the comments and I'll make sure to do it. And with this, I would like to end this video and say thank you for your support. If you have any problems, if you have any problems in understanding what I told, please let me know. If you have any feedback also, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be happy to at least take in consideration. Thank you so much.